Hey everyone, my name is Arthur Watson, and I'm here to talk about the book I just read, Resolving Everyday Conflict by Ken Sande and Kevin Johnson. Ken Sande had a great diagram called the slippery slope that he used, and I thought that was a great way to illustrate the 5 things that I learned as I read the book. So, the first thing I learned is to seek peace and avoid being a peace faker or a peace breaker. The peace faker is the person that wants to avoid conflict at all costs, and the peace breaker is a person who seeks to win at all costs, even the cost of relationships. The second thing I learned is to go higher. Incorporate or seek God in any conflict that you have so that He can help you to navigate appropriately. Proverbs 3:5 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding." That is key to addressing and starting the path of resolving conflict while at the same time maintaining relationship. Third thing I learned was to get real. That means I have to look at myself. Matthew chapter 7, verse 5 says, "First remove the plank from your own eye so that then you can see clearly to remove the speck in your brother's eye." So that begins with me looking at what things I brought to the table that may have caused some conflict and bringing that to the other person across from the table with me. And that leads to gently engaging. As I said earlier, I first have to understand what faults I bring to the table and confess those to the person that's across the table from me. But then also gently engage and then ask them to acknowledge the things that they brought to the table and help them to understand and think about those things. After that, you want to get together. And that's all about providing real forgiveness so that you can restore the relationship. I talk about real forgiveness. You'll look at the 4 promises of forgiveness on the slide. I won't go into detail on those, but for real forgiveness, it's incumbent that you do follow the 4 promises of forgiveness so that you don't bring up things that are old. You don't bring up things that cause bitterness, and you don't bring up things that will bring you back into a situation where you began when the conflict was first lifted. Finally, how will I incorporate these things into my ministry? Well, first, we'd read the book together as a staff. Secondly, I would display that slippery slope diagram prominently in the office. Thirdly, I would ask my staff members that in any project or ministry ideas or development, they utilize these skills to get things done. And then finally, when they use them in personal or in work functions, I would always affirm those things. So with that, thank you for listening. Have a great day.